I was baptized here. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, yeah, I guess I'm on some other shit now, huh?
Bonjour.
Welcome to Gotham.
Cenobites.
Do you know what nemesis means?
Be my victim. Be my victim.
Amateurs. But still, we will afford them an experience beyond the limits in your name.
Live or die. Make your choice.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. You've clicked on Gotham Cenobites. I'm Terry.
I'm Lindsay.
And today we're doing our final Candyman review, the Candyman movie from 2021. Co-written by Jordan Peele and the director Nia DaCosta. And this movie, I went into it hearing all kinds of things, seeing all kinds of clips, researching the other movies, and I was ready to bash on this. But by the beginning, the middle to the end, it won me over, and I really enjoyed this.
He's crazy. I liked it from the jump.
This is the only one where I watched it again before we did this. So that should tell you something.
Yeah, it's definitely worth watch at least twice.
Yeah. So, I mean, this one kind of begins in the year 2019, and it's, of course, we're back at Cabrini Green, but it's been torn down, and luxury apartments have been built, and the story starts with our lead couple, and they're hosting like a dinner with family, and so her brother comes over, and after the dinner, her brother tells a scary story because he's freaked out about the neighborhood they moved into, the area.
He's a real estate agent, so he knows the history.
So he tells them a scary story, and of course if you've seen the others, you all know it's Helen's story from the first movie. And Anthony is our lead character, and he kind of gets, looking for art, looking for material. He gets
amused,
entrenched in the story, ends up finding out, all about the Candyman mythos, gets fully entwined in it, comes out in visions in his work, and he ultimately ends up becoming another Candyman. Alright, so we're just gonna kind of go into a few things we like in the story, and I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of dislikes. There's a few things that stood out to me that, I think is worth mentioning, so we don't gloat all over this movie. But one of the things watching it, until we got to that halfway reveal, that I didn't care for watching it was our Candyman was this Sherman Fields guy. But then ultimately, because there's this guy named Burke that Anthony meets, and Burke's kind of the one telling him all these stories. So he tells him the Burke story first, because in the beginning you see a child, and it ends up being that's Burke. So he saw the Sherman Fields Candyman theoretically be born. So so that's the first part of our movie, is mostly dealing with the Sherman who's appearing and killing. But then there's another point where he goes back to Burke, and Burke fully explains it, and something that, it's a pretty cool idea. And as soon as I heard this conversation, it was like, okay, well, if this ends right, this is going to be really good.
I agree.
Because since Candyman's not a man, he's the whole damn hive or something like that. So there's a hive, so there's been more than one Candyman. Of course, we know Daniel Robitaille was the first, but then you have 5 others, and then ultimately what I like is all the tie-ins from the first movie, including the accidental recruit into the hive was how Helen died and how she came back.
Baby Anthony.
But yeah, so Daniel was the first. Then we had Anthony Crawford. I don't know, theoretically another Anthony. But he was lynched in 1916 after an altercation over the price of local cottonseed. And then we had George Stinney, which is the most disturbing to me. It was a little boy who was executed in 1948 under the false accusation of murdering 2 little white girls. And let's see, James Byrd Jr. was murdered by 3 white supremacists in Texas in 1998. And then we see Sherman's story, and he was in 1977.
Right.
He was just some guy with an actual hook hand, where like people used to use the actual. But he was giving candy out to kids, and then
there's someone going around that was putting candy and razor blades in candy, and
of course, the white cops just automatically assume it's Creepy Sherman because he
Yeah.
gives out candy to kids. So they find him, beat him to death, but then even more razor blades start to show up and even more candy. So
he was killed for no reason.
Which is like ultimately the thing with this hive is that they where is it? I saw here. They have this is a villain wiki that I found, and I'll tag it in the description. But let's see, power skills: ghostly powers, teleportation, flying, spectral bees. The goals of the hive is to kill everyone who invokes their name 5 times in a mirror, haunting and killing all those who commit these racial injustices, obviously recruit the spirits of these people who are killed unjustly, continue to perpetuate their legend, and then put it into racism. Mm-hmm. So, another complaint that I've seen going around all these reviews I've been watching was that the first half of the movie, Sherman was the one who was summoned by Anthony. But of course, come to find out later that this Anthony is the baby Anthony from the first movie. So I think, Daniel, the first Candyman, obviously marked him, in some type of way. So Sherman didn't actually come for him, he just kind of was around, and there's so many times I saw him in the mirrors in the shots behind her, and I had to rewind it so she could see Sherman.
I missed every single time. Like, did you see him? No.
So, kind of the first, all of Sherman's kills, he's only in the mirror, and a lot of people complained that a lot of the kills were either off camera or they were through a mirror, not really coming through. But by the end, when obviously this Anthony becomes the new Candyman, and I don't know, once the legend has spread enough and they have that much power, he's actually able to appear and do a ton of killing in person. So that's kind of the way I interpreted it, was that Sherman didn't have quite enough power. People, not enough people
belief.
Was saying Candyman's
There wasn't
name.
enough fear built up around the legend, so he couldn't physically exist like Robotei did in the other films.
So that's kind of what we ultimately get to at the end, where in the beginning, what you kind of see is what I like is this Anthony. He's taking pictures like Helen used to, and he's also an artist like Robotei was.
Yeah.
And as soon as he finds the church, I think Daniel went to or something like that. I don't remember the significance of the church, but there's a bee that stings him, so his hand starts to rot. So by the end, when he goes back to Burke for the last time, he's it's spread all the way up. So Burke actually is the one that cuts his arm off. There's been a ton of killings going on by Sherman, so he calls the cops. The cops show up and ultimately, kill him, and that's how he becomes Candyman.
Yep. So
at the end, after we find out about the Hive and all these other Candymans, another thing I really like was the cops come in and Brianna's holding Anthony and they kill him, and that's how he becomes the Candyman. But they arrest her, stick her in a car, and kind of give her, like, this is what you're gonna say. You know, we had a reason to kill him, or you're going to jail too. So she says, I'll say anything you want, just let me see myself. And what I really liked, that I didn't catch the first time, was she says Candyman in the mirror 4 times, and the cop finishes it. And that's how you first see the Anthony McCoy Candyman at the end. And he comes out and kills all the cops, and he gets to the car, it's just him, the one cop, and her. And as he's walking around the car, of course he's saying the whole spiel that Daniel said in the first movie, but each window he passes, the reflection is one of the other.
That was
Candyman.
Really great
So
seeing
it's
that.
like all of them, I don't know,
Yeah.
are fueling this whole thing.
Yeah.
So he unlocks the car doors, and the last cop makes a run for it, and then she gets out and meets up with him around the corner, and that's when he kills the last cop. And this whole time after that, there's bees all around him. And he looks at her, and that's when you finally see Tony Todd. So it's the Daniel Robitaille Candyman that says, tell everyone. And that's how it ends.
Yeah, it was a great ending. I mean, the movie overall, from beginning to end, was fantastic. I think, like, one of my favorite parts is probably one of the complaints, is I liked how Sherman, the way, because he wasn't fully able to be fit in the physical realm per se, or seen, I guess, really. Like, you could see, like, kind of the bodies being thrown. It's very ghost-like. It was kind of scary. I mean, I thought it was creepy as hell. I really liked that a lot.
Yeah. But I think another interesting thing is, I mean, he was told about Sherman. So that's like the first one we see. So I mean, I don't know. I think every Candyman has had their due. I guess it just depends on the story you're told before you summon him. So I mean, I guess that's what dictates which one actually shows up. And
I never thought about it like that.
I do like also too that, you know, Helen was ultimately became one too at the end of Candyman, but she ultimately was summoned the one time and killed Trevor. So I'm not sure she has the motivation and emotion like the other ones do.
Mm-hmm. This was a fantastic twist. I feel like a new take, a very fresh take. It ties the movie lore so much better than the remake or the other films.
Yeah, I think 2 and 3 you could just forget about.
Yeah, I agree.
This is the true sequel.
Yes, the true sequel.
I don't think I have ever seen a reboot almost 20 years later do its own thing this much, but still
hit it out,
tie in the first movie and build on everything. Like,
yeah,
this makes the first one to me better.
I agree completely. I mean, the storytelling, the visuals of it, like everything about it. It's really, I like the little art piece, little puppets. Because who was that? The little boy that was Burke?
Yeah, it was Burke
that was
in the
making
beginning.
it.
He made all the puppets. So.
It's just the and then the mirror, like in the very beginning, everything is backwards. Do you remember
when
that?
the movie started,
we thought there was something wrong with our TV.
Everything, the Universal logo came up backwards. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'm thinking that my TV.
We got a dud. The stream is, I don't even know.
So yeah,
it was really great.
And then the intro credits. I mean, you're just looking up at the skyline.
At the skyline, it was.
I mean, everything was shot.
It was a beautiful visual.
Yeah, I mean.
It was very cool, very artsy throughout the entire thing, which just really ties in perfectly with the, the art.
But I guess ultimately, there's a few things. I mean, you gotta find something, I guess, to complain about. And what I thought was weird was, and this was happening like over a day. I just don't understand why Anthony was never a suspect in all these murders, because
the time frame,
because
all that.
was the one that had the art show telling everybody to say Candyman's name, and then people start dying, and he's all over the news, but somehow
cops were never...
never suspected him of doing the killings. So that was a little weird to me, but I was telling you, unless it's some sort of, like, I don't know, like the Candymans were helping him and they were focusing everyone on just the legend instead of him as a suspect. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some sort of spiritual thing. So there's really not a whole lot else I think of. I've seen it twice to actually put into dislikes.
Yeah, I don't have any dislikes. I really thoroughly enjoyed this film.
Her brother Troy, he was
the comic relief,
and it was great. I mean, it wasn't too much, but it was funny. But
yeah.
Another...
Brian, can I say something real quick? Brianna's story I thought was really interesting with her father, his passing, and him being an artist, and then her career choice, and just the whole tie-ins with everything, and what a tragic life that she lived too.
That's like what her brother actually told her, is you don't need to be the person who picks up every artist that has a psychotic breakdown.
That's right, he did say that, yeah.
But it's just cool. As this whole thing is going on, he's made all these visions of Anthony's, and he's actually paints the faces unknowingly of every Candyman.
Oh yes, yeah.
And then another would be with my fucked up sense of humor. At the end, he goes to Burke, so he's there ready to become Candyman. She, of course, Brianna goes looking for him, and Burke kind of grabs her and says, "Okay, now we have a witness." So she wakes up, and they're in the church that Anthony took a picture of in the beginning, and he's like telling all her more stories. Like, I was baptized here, and then she kind of just gives him a look. So he's like, "Yeah, I'm on some whole other shit now." Right before he cuts fucking dude's arm off.
Yeah, that was good.
That made me laugh both times. But
the acting was really great. Like, I don't have any complaints. Like, they were all great actors.
I mean, no one... Peele's involvement, I've never really seen too many of his movies, but they all look good. I mean, I might now.
You should.
But, I knew it would be well done and well acted. I just didn't expect them to do such a good job with a reboot and tying into the first movie. And Helen is in it via the voice. He goes to the university and gets her tapes, so we do get to hear more of what she was recording in her investigation.
Yeah, that was neat.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, I don't think anyone. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but I just don't see how you don't like this movie. I know you may be skeptical if you just watched Day of the Dead, or if that's the last taste of Candyman in your mouth. But trust me, it's way better.
You, like he said, you literally only need to see the first and this one, and that is it. This film is fantastic.
Yeah, these two are very connected, and they keep everything in Cabrini. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, 2 and 3 are its own multiverse. That's a different Earth Candyman. That's how departed they are.
This film really rejuvenated, because my likeness or my liking of Candyman, because watching the films, like all three, the first three, I didn't understand why the hell he would want a statue of Candyman, and not because I didn't like the character per se. It's just, I don't know. But this film, okay, well, different actor, but like the story, I could just, everything was just tied very well together. It was just put together. It was explained. Obviously in the beginning, it really left you guessing, like, what the hell's going on with the whole Sherman tie-in? Like, you didn't understand it until you realized, there's been multiple Candymans over time.
To get to, it's my first impression. This playthrough we're doing, watching all these, was that this was like, it's another Crow. And to me, if you saw the Crow TV show, this further drives the point home that this could totally be like the Crow, because there's definitely, there's more than one Crow you know, if it's just a spirit who has wronged this much innocent, I don't know. Yeah, it's a good idea, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm probably not gonna get a whole lot of love for this, but what are we rating this one?
This one's definitely a 4 for me.
I knew when it was over, I was like, oh, this is going to get the highest rating.
Yeah. I mean, horror films are not my favorites. See, like, now I feel like if I'm gonna watch, like, a horror flick, this would definitely be in the top. So...
4 is great. I mean, I don't think it's needs to be too far above the first one, but again, there's so much of the first one that's in this. I mean, yeah. To me, if you ask me which one you want to watch again, I would probably pick this one every time.
Yeah.
So this one is going to get 4 hooks.
Yeah, easy. Maybe more, but...
Didn't see that coming. Well, I mean, it's... I say it's not perfect, but then there's not a whole lot of dislikes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't have very many dislikes. Like, I'm just...
I mean, there could have... I mean, there's the first 2 especially, there's a lot more gore on camera, a lot more killing on camera. So, I mean, you see the blood, you see the deaths, but, I mean, and he's in the mirror. So, I mean, I guess if that's somebody's complaint...
I don't need that. For me, personally, I don't need all that blood, guts.
But with me, without that complaint, I really don't see much at all. This movie was great from start to finish.
I agree.
So, unfortunately, I mean, we'll be back. I mean, we were discussing doing more, but this is going to wrap up the Candyman run we're doing. And I may put a poll out there, maybe sometime next year, of what let y'all vote on maybe the next thing that we do. She's definitely told me she doesn't want to participate in Soul because, I mean, those are a lot more gruesome than this for sure.
Yeah, it's not my thing, it's his.
So maybe I can do that by myself next Halloween season. We'll see. But this is not goodbye for us. It's just
see you later.
Yeah, first part of next year. But we hope you enjoyed this. Go out and watch this one at least.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely watch this one.
But yeah, I thank everyone for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the content. And we don't know when, but we will see you on the next one.
Yep. Bye.
So what's up, everybody? Did you hit that subscribe button? Why not? We're giving away these 5 books. I'm about to put over my face. We're giving away all 5 of these books. The 4 of the metal books put up by me. The 5th, the Batman Who Laughs book, put up by the very kind and gracious Steve over at Casual Nerd Problems. And not only did he come in clutch with this 5th book, The Batman Who Laughs, that immediately picks up after the metal event, but he also went out and got it signed, here you see, by Scott Snyder. Big thank you to you, Steve. Thank you so much for always being there. Thank you so much for supporting me as much as you have. It is awesome that you gave up that book signed for this giveaway. So stick around, like this video, subscribe, and we're gonna go live once we hit 500 subscribers on both channels, here at Gotham Cinebites and over at Casual Nerd Problems. So subscribe to both, that way you have double the notifications whenever that video does go live. As always, I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate everybody who subscribes. You might as well get you all 5 of these books. So yeah, thank you so much. Stick around for that giveaway.